In this video, I will show you how to create this custom drag and drop interaction where learners can sort products onto the right shelf levels. And let's quickly see this in action. I can drag the elements over here and drop them. And I need to do something wrong on purpose right now. So you can see that when I click on submit, I get the feedback, but I also get a visual feedback what I have done wrong. And I'll show you exactly how to build this step by step in Articulate Storyline. And you can follow along with the free practice file I have prepared. Okay, so now would be a good time to download the practice file from the video description. It includes all the graphics and layout already set up, so you can jump right in. Okay, let's choose the practice file and review what's on there. We have the products on the left, and these are rectangles with a product picture, and the product picture is inside of the normal state of these rectangles. And on the right, we have drop zones. These are also rectangles, and we can also call them our drop targets. And I have pre-arranged and named everything in the timeline for clarity. Now we want to turn this into a drag and drop question. And the first thing is to convert this into a freeform question. And to do this, click the Insert tab and then click on Convert to Freeform. And a new window opens up and drag and drop is already selected. So we just need to click on OK. And this lets us use Storyline's question editor, where we can easily configure feedback and scoring and the number of attempts and all this kind of stuff. And right now we're in what's called form view. And we can switch back to slide view here on the right. And I will switch back to form view because right now we want to map the drag items to the correct drop targets. And yeah, this is just done by clicking here and then picking your first or any drag item and then matching it to the correct drop target. So I have the chocolate bar, and I know that chocolate bar belongs in the eye level. And the next thing is my shampoo, and the shampoo also belongs in the eye level. And yeah, just so on. Rice belongs in the bottom shelf, and pasta also belongs in the bottom shelf. And then we have our honey and our olive oil, and they both belong in the top shelf. Okay, and now we're basically done setting up the question logic. And yeah, let's do a preview of this slide. And Storyline offers different drop arrangements. So if I drop two items here in the first shelf level, you can see that they are stacked on top of each other and with a little offset, and this is called stack offset. And here in the second level, they are snapped to the center. So this is called snap to center. And here they are organized next to each other, and this is called tile. I have done this on purpose, so let's apply this to all of these shelf levels so that we have this tile set up in all of the drop zones. So let's close the preview and then switch to slide view and then select all the drop targets. I will choose one and then hold down Shift on my keyboard and then select the other two. And then near the border of one of those elements, I will do a right click, and then I will click on drag and drop, and then I will choose tile. And this keeps the items nicely aligned when dropped. And now that the items snap into a tiled layout, let's make 3 small changes to improve the usability, and we'll do this quickly without previewing after each one and then do a final preview at the end. So right now learners can drop items anywhere, but we want items to snap back if they are not dropped on a target. And to do this, I will select all drag elements. I can do this by drawing a rectangle around them. And now I will do a right click near the border of one of them. And then I will click on drag and drop. And then I will click drag return. And the next thing I want is for my learners to have more than one attempt at this. So in the question tool design tab, here in the scoring section, I will set the attempts to unlimited. And this way learners can keep trying without being locked out. And Storyline automatically adds a try again layer. And if we switch back to form view, we can also see that we could add or change text here in the try again layer. Now, one last thing is let's give learners a clear feedback on what has been dropped incorrectly. And right here in slide view on the base layer, if I choose one of my drag items, so let's pick this one, and then I can click on state and then click on edit states. And now I can add another state for when they are dropped incorrect. And Storyline has built-in states for this. So I have the normal state selected and I can duplicate the state, and then I can, from the drop down, I can choose drop incorrect. And this will be applied automatically once the interaction has been submitted based on if the item has been dropped incorrect or not. So let's choose this and then click add. And then I want to change this a little bit. And for this, I will add an outline. So let's click on the drawing tool format tab and then click on shape outline. And then I want the feedback incorrect color. And yeah, let's give this outline a little bit more weight. And I will choose 2 pixels. And yeah, this is basically my my drop incorrect state. So I will click on done. And yeah, now I just have to set this up for the other 5. And yeah, sadly, I have to do this one by one. So I will spare you watching me do all 6, and we'll just jump to the next step. That's all set up. Let's click on done and let's do a final preview. And I will drop an item outside so you can see that it is returned to the starting point. Yeah, let's do the interaction. I will try to misplace 2 items and then click on submit, and then you can see the try again feedback layer. And when I click on try again, you can also see the visual feedback of what we have done wrong. And because we have more than one try, we can also just rearrange this and correct our mistake, and then click on submit again, and then we get the correct feedback. And yeah, that's your finished interaction. Just a quick note before wrapping up: drag and drop interactions are very visual and not always accessible to keyboard only or screen reader users. So if you're designing for accessibility, consider offering an alternative or making these optional. If you'd like to see a video on making drag and drop interactions more accessible, let me know in the comments. You now have a working custom drag and drop question in Storyline. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more practical Storyline tutorials. And if you're interested in using ready-made templates, including drag and drops, to quickly build your Storyline course, you should definitely check out this next video. I hope to see you there. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.